Kerbal Space Program as a franchise is dead. Like, we still have the amazing game and the incredible work of modders to keep it looking current year standard, but as for that sequel and any hope of continued development, that's all a bit kaput, as they say. Until, out of the blue, Estes Rockets, a model rocket company, released a bunch of Kerbal Space Program themed products. Obviously, this isn't something that they can just do. This would have needed to have been worked out with the KSP owners. So I guess these are, for now, the final ever official things we will get from the Kerbal Space Program franchise. So I decided to acquire these, but then it transpired that the company doesn't ship to the United Kingdom. So I guess that was that. Until I remembered that I am a celebrity and I exist above the rules of mere mortals. And after a few back and forth emails, I received... What could it be? I was quite intrigued by the handwritten read before opening note. I had a little read of it, and it turned out it was a note from a member of the fulfillment team saying that they specially packed my shipment in such a way that an unboxing video could be done. So the stage was set. Open the box. This is the moment. Not looking much better. I might just interrupt myself and just say that I did actually purchase these with my own money. This isn't a sponsored video, but Estes have set up an affiliate link for me. So if you live in the US or Canada, then click the link below to purchase any of these things in this video or any of the other amazing rocket things that Estes sells. Anyway, back to the unboxing. I haven't thought the layout of this unboxing through. It's fallen. It's all going wrong.
He's really bad at unboxing. He's doing bad at unboxing. He's really bad at unboxing. Oh, still the way I try.
That's not unboxing, sorry. Among the spoils were a model Jebediah Kerman and Valentina Kerman, each with a small rocket ornament. Right, I think we'll do the big one next.
He's really bad at unboxing. He's really bad at
We have a display stand for this one, so I guess it's meant to be like a replica of the Mun's surface. There we are, landed on the Mun. But I think we're going to open the coolest one, because this is the one that actually flies. You heard me right, this is the one launchable KSP model from the Estes model range. Jebediah. Already. I've just seen inside the box, guys. This looks a lot more intimidating. So we have a fuselage. It was dumb to have everything open on this tiny tail ones. Oh my goodness, we got an upper bit. That's the technical term, I think. Oh, we've got fins. Crew capsule. And another little Jeb coming. So let's see if we can figure this out. So, put all of our little toys to the sides. Oh my goodness, I'm very overwhelmed. So this, guys, is a real rocket that really can fly. I believe I have to supply my own engine, like international shipping. Bit complicated, you guys get it, right? The fuselage there. And we have a little genuine KSP2-esque command pod, which I guess goes in here. And I'm guessing this looks like the engine housing. Snaps together. Now we do need to glue this, but I'm not going to do that just for the purpose of this unboxing. That screws on. And yes, guys, this rocket can actually fly. I just need to acquire a rocket motor for it. You can see there's the little slots the launch stand will go through. And then inside the command module at the top, there's like a parachute assembly, which will deploy and allow the whole thing to fall back to Earth and be recoverable. And you know, since this rocket looks like something you can build in KSP2, I mean, what do you think? We got it, right? Okay, so just gonna go and try and make a, one-to-one recreation. So let's see, we've got the gumball with a parachute on top. And then it looks like there's just a straight decoupler, no heat shield underneath. And then we have, what fuel tank is that? I'm gonna go ahead and guess this one. Yeah, that looks right. And then probably just that again. And then a couple of red striped ones, maybe like that. That looks about right. And then we got the mainsail engine. Where's that? There we go. And then we got, finally, some wings, which I've scrolled past, I think. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just try and make these a little bit more, faithful to the model rocket design. The tip length needs to be longer. Wingspan's probably a little bit too much there. Wing angle, we want to disable the control surfaces as well. And I would say that's pretty much a fairly good representation of the model rocket that you can buy. But this doesn't really work that well in game. So let's see if we can try and redesign this to work better as a rocket in Kerbal Space Program 2. So let's go ahead and do just that. Now don't worry guys, I'm going to make this time lapse. I'm going to sit through the tedium of watching me build the same rocket again. Well, same rocket, but slightly different. So I've split the fuel tanks up into smaller kind of fuel tanks, but trying to mimic the paint scheme of the Estes model rocket. But I'm adding a few things. Because, of course, the Estes model rocket, one of the beautiful things about it is that it's fully recoverable. We can reuse it. So I've added some Falcon 9 style grid fins, some extra large landing gear so that this thing can actually be recovered and reflown. And this here, I think, was pretty good. But preliminary testing found that because of those giant fins at the base of the stack, landing burns were very, very difficult because the thing would just want to flip over and to go nose first when the speed got too low. So I figured that we'd probably need to add some sort of supplementary parachute system just to ensure that this thing remained landing gear down during any landing attempt. So now I'm back in the vehicle assembly building, adding those parachutes, and then we could start the countdown. And the flight has begun. Yes, I know I let the video play with just the in-game audio and soundtrack a little bit longer than I normally let it play because is it weird that I'm just a little bit nostalgic for Kerbal Space Program 2 at this point? Like I kind of missed a little nice launch jingle, and the sound effects of this game are second to none, and the engine bloom effects are really good as well. So yeah, it's kind of bittersweet, this mission, right? It's a tragic thing, is KSP 2. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say about that, really, but nice hearing that. It's nice to hear the music one more time. Now we can make a quick save, and then stage, and get ready to boost back the first stage booster. So I've deployed the Falcon 9 style grid fins. Now I've opened up all of our Methalox tanks, and I'm attempting to press the pump out button for all except the bottommost tank. We're going to leave that as pump in. What I'm trying to say here really awkwardly is I'm pumping all of the fuel into the bottommost tank to make this thing bottom heavy so that it flips over into this position a little bit easier. Because even though we have the Falcon 9 grid fins and we've got the big heavy engine at the bottom, those big, fins make this thing very, very reluctant to want to flip over to perform a Falcon 9 style landing. But we've performed our boost back burn back to the Kerbal Space Center, so now I'm going to point retrograde. Again, this thing is a little bit reluctant to do so, although I think in just a second I'm going to pump some more fuel into the rear tank. I think when I was yeah, there we go. I remember that I can do this now. So once again, I don't know why the buttons in KSP2's interface aren't the most responsive. So I sort of gave up clicking some of them because it wasn't much fuel in those tanks anyway. And there we are. We are now gliding down nicely, Falcon 9 / Starship / New Glenn style, towards one of those landing pads. Now, I was actually coming in to undershoot, but then those massive tail fins actually helped out a little bit. We could generate a bit more lift at the bottom of the stack and glide over there. And all was a good. And then I could deploy the parachutes. They were actually a little bit more powerful than I perhaps needed them to be. I really only needed them to keep this thing oriented correctly. I didn't need them to actually decelerate us to landing speed, which, 7.9 meters per second, we can probably safely touch down, although I didn't want to chance things. So I fired up the mainsail engine just for the touchdown. And there we are. Touchdown is complete. Vessel is recoverable. And there it is. Get one last look at it, because we now unfortunately need to expend it. Yes, just before staging, if you remember, I made a quick save because I couldn't figure out a way to have both the first stage and the upper stage recoverable without mods. In fact, I don't think there is a mod that enables that in Kerbal Space Program 2, so we have to kind of make a quick save and either recover the first stage or recover the second stage, not both. I do know it's possible in stock KSP1 and stock KSP2 to do missions like this without expending by using a really, really steep launch profile and have it so both stages are in space together at the same time. You can kind of do the deorbit and the circularization burn with both vessels there. Neither would despawn, but I couldn't get that to work with this particular rocket's form factor, so maybe there's a video there for another day. I have done a mission like that before. I did a video called Jets to Space, where I just used like the first stage booster, it was an aircraft, but booster would fly to space using only jet engines, and then the upper stage would circularize whilst the first stage was kind of in space on a suborbital trajectory, and then we could switch back before it entered the atmosphere, and both stages were recoverable. It was great, but so maybe I'll put a card on screen. I should have just said there's a card on screen if you want to see me do a mission like that. I think I did another one as well with a space shuttle style craft with a similar sort of premise, where again both stages were recoverable. Anyway, I'm kind of getting a bit sidetracked here. I'm meant to be talking about this mission. Well, specifically this rocket. As I said, the whole thesis for this bit of the video was recreating the Estes Jebediah, the flying rocket model. And ironically, well, I don't know if it's ironic, actually, just the fact is that it's the only rocket in the Estes collection that actually resembles a Kerbal Space Program vehicle. And so, we had to go ahead and recreate it. Obviously, it's a fairly simple rocket. In real life, it literally just goes straight up, straight down, like New Shepard style. So there's really not a lot of scope for it to go to somewhere like Junior or something in-game. But hey, we've got a fair amount of Delta V remaining. It's not helpful for me to bring this up whilst Jebediah Kerbal is on EVA here, but I did a little bit of orbital science, and I was reminded of, how cool the science experiments were in this game. It was a timed thing. You didn't just click a button, it was done. So I'm doing a crew report. It was 10 seconds of him chattering on his little microphone, recording his observations. Yeah, real bummer. Anyway, to keep the video on a high note. So yeah, how much Delta V do we actually have? Where is Delta V in KSP2? Oh, there it is on the right hand side. 996 meters per second. We could do a MUN flyby or something like that, but we can't really do much more. So I decided to just leave it there and go ahead and deorbit ourselves so we land somewhere near the Kerbal Space Center. I want to do an Apollo/Dragon capsule ocean splashdown somewhat near the Kerbal Space Center because, we're going for reusability, recoverability. Be nice if, splashing down near our launch site. I did a quick save, quick load just there because you might have noticed we had that weird glitch that sometimes happened in Kerbal Space Program 2 where just bits of the craft visually. So, yeah. You ever seen that time warp active thing, by the way, at the bottom? That was one of the very last features to be added, and I think it was added after the whole warn notice was served. So everyone was like, oh, KSP2 is going to stop being developed, and everyone stopped playing it. So I don't think I played the game much with that little time warp active UI element there. So yeah, fun little feature there. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the Estes rocket recreation part of this video. I feel like I might have missed a trick though, because I said that, I want it to be recoverable like the Estes rocket, but of course it's not fully reusable, right? I ditched the second stage. This is like a Falcon 9 style thing. So yeah, not a fully reusable thing. We'd have to just buy another second stage, which I guess we wouldn't need to with the Estes rocket, although we would need a new motor, right? So I guess there are trade-offs for either model. But yeah, I'm loving the little new addition on my desk with these little Estes models. And the Kerbals, I must say, when I saw the pictures of the little Kerbal models, like the toys, on the website, I thought they looked a bit naff. But they do look much, much better in real life. I actually really, really like them a lot. I like them a lot more than I thought I would. I kind of just wanted the big KSP2 style model rocket, but I like the little Kerbals. I've got them dotted around my office. So I look like an insane person. But, I don't care. I wear my insanity with pride. But yeah, we'll just end up with some nice little closing shots of the rocket There it is there, in all its majestic glory, as well as, of course, the other models, the little hanging ornaments, which are okay, but I think kind of the main part of those packs is just a little model Valentino and a little model Jebediah. And there's me pretending to fly the rocket. But I mean, you might be asking, why aren't I just launching this for real in this video instead of doing a KSP2 recreation? So I definitely plan for this video to have a part 2 where I do launch this, but right now I'm just trying to figure out what my options are on how to launch it legally. In the UK, an unfortunate reality is that the vast majority of the land is privately owned, especially in Dartmoor, which is where I live. It was the nearest non-built up area to me. Launching a model rocket wouldn't, pardon the pun, fly. Well, I could probably get away with flying it somewhere secluded where it won't be noticed or cause an issue, to be honest. But obviously, I'd be filming it, and then it would be seen by thousands of people. So I really need to be doing things by the books here. I'm going to see if I can reach out to any model aircraft or rocket clubs for some advice and possible launch sites. Or maybe I could launch it from the Shetland Spaceport or Spaceport Cornwall. If you work at either of those places, then please do get in touch. But guys, if you want to buy these rockets, I haven't been sponsored. Yes, they did extra special shipping for me, and they gave me a little bit of a discount because I was buying it, but I did actually use my actual real money to buy these things because I wanted them. If you want to buy it too, you can click my affiliate link in the description. They only ship to the US and Canada, I'm afraid. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any ideas as well for like what I could do for the model rocket launch video, I've never launched a model rocket before. I've launched thousands of virtual ones, never a real one. Isn't that deep and philosophical? But thank you for watching. Credits on the right. They're of course my Patreon and YouTube channel supporters. Some of their funding I can use to buy silly things like this and make these videos just for you, and hopefully a sequel to this video where I can actually launch it. But yeah, if you want to help support what I do, links are in the description, as well as of course purchase links for the Estes Rocket collection again. And I'm out of time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.